Head-do to the Fab Five. You find your name there? Okay, today is I know when we say sometimes we see a printed A look like that. Sometimes it looks like that. And sometimes it looks like weirdo like that. All right, so before we start this story, and what can I say? And I found a new story. That is a Scooby-Doo story. So we know Scooby is a big dog, and he loves to eat. And this one, he is out at a donut store. And he's going to go in the store. And we know he's not going to have a little snack because Scooby loves to eat big snacks. He's going to gobble down. Or maybe he'll gobble up some donuts in this story. So I am going to read this, and we will be hearing about a disappearing donut mystery. You are going to hear the story, and yes, Scooby and Shaggy are in it. No moms that I can see in the story. I don't know. Shaggy must have a mom, but I've never seen her. Will be in the story. Happy. Don't know that it's anybody's birthday in this story. And of course, Scooby is a dog. Yep. What are some of the other words we might see in the story? Well, we might see the word me or day. Probably see the word not. And maybe the number 1. I'm sure we'll see the word no. Were. And the 2s. To go. 2 donuts. Too many donuts. So, I love you. And we are going to start reading the story. And as always, I ask the question, what is this book? It is a story about the disappearing donuts. Scooby-Doo, a subtraction mystery. The case of the disappearing donuts. Well, I can guess where they disappeared to. Right in here, this big mouth here. Okay, let's read. All right. Now, the people of Crystal Cove loved Dippy's Donuts, but lately they had a problem. Someone was taking away pastries from their boxes. Customers were unhappy, and the owner of the shop was frazzled. I don't like the looks of this guy. He doesn't look very happy. Let's see. Mary Claire, owner of the shop, was upset. Pastries keep disappearing, she moaned. Just yesterday, Mrs. Puff brought 6 cookies. Someone took 4 cookies out of her box. So when she opened it, there were 2 left. So she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She had 6 cookies. Somebody took 1, 2, 3, 4 cookies out of the box. And now there are only 2 cookies left. Because 6 minus 4 equals 2. Oh, take 4 away from 6, and you have 2. Now, you could also say 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. Boy, that's horrible, Balmy Baker. That's what we call a ghost. It's dusty. Yeah, Balmy Baker. Balmy Rake. Balmy Raker. That's what Scooby's saying. But it's a Balmy Baker. Did I miss a page? No, we're talking about the Balmy Baker. And the Baker here says, that's what we call a ghost. It's dusty and white, and it leaves footprints. Ghost that leaves footprints. Interesting. Mary took the game to the storage room. Pies and cakes were stacked to the ceiling. There are 5 footprints, said Mary, and there were 8 of them, but I scrubbed 3 of them away. So if you had 8 and you take away 3, that leaves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There were 8. And she scrubbed 3 of them. Left 1, 2, 3, 4. That left 5 left. Hey, that's powdered sugar, says Shaggy. Scooby just licked 1 footprint and then another one. Hey, that's 2 taken away from 5, and that leaves 3 footprints. So 8, take away 3, take away 2, leaves 3 footprints. Back at the counter, the phone rang. Mary answered it, and then she hung up with a frown. Well, that was Mr. Flaky, she said. He left with a box of 12 doughnuts. At home, he saw that someone had taken away 4 doughnuts. Do you know how many were left? Oh, like if there were 9, they'd all be gone. 12 minus 4 is 8. Oh, this is bad, said Mary. People are saying they won't buy my doughnuts. I have to replace the missing treats. Time to solve this mystery, said Fred. Let's stake out the bakery tonight. There are 5 of us. Velma, Daphne, and Fred will hide inside. So that's 1, 2, 3 of them will hide inside. How many are going to watch outside? Well, that leaves Scooby and Shaggy. So 5 minus 3 leaves 2. Scooby and I are going to watch outside, away from the food. That's odd, they love food. Later that night, the gang took their spots. Shaggy and Scooby stood outside. Velma and Mary hid behind the counter. Daphne and Fred headed to the storage room. A large rack of buns crowded the room. There were 100 buns in all, 10 of them on each tray. Fred dumped a tray of buns into a large bag. 100 minus 10 is 90, he said. And 90 minus 10 is 80. So here we have these trays, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 buns. You could just count backwards by 10, someone said. That might be easier. So you could go 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and 0. So Fred removed 4 more trays. 70, 60, 50, 40. Now we have room to hide. That's why I was taking those trays away. So now they're hiding behind the trays. Fred and Daphne waited. The door squeaked open. A ghostly shape entered. She headed towards a shelf of pies. Stop, We know you're the balmy baker. We know you're stealing baked goods. The baker jumped in surprise. Then she ran from the room, knocking down pies on her way. The baker ran for the door. Two ghostly faces floated in the window. The baker screamed and fell backwards. They were in the window. She thought they were ghosts. She screamed and went doinks. Velma sprang out and dropped a flour sack over the baker. Got you, she cried. Fred and Daphne tied the bag with a rope. So, what's going to happen here? Oh! Carolyn Cupcake, yelled Mary Claire. She's the owner of Plunkin Pastries. My bakery is the best, said Carolina. I just need more customers. I would have gotten more if it weren't for your meddling kids and your dog. And you are left with one. Oops. Subtract one thief, said Mary Claire, and you are left with one hungry dog. Woof, woof, woof. Uh-huh. Oh, so they solved the mystery. She was the one stealing the pastries. So the words we used in this book were equal, being the same in number. Minus is to take away something. Meddling means busing oneself with something that's not of their own concern. And that is the end of the disappearing donuts mystery. Should we read another mystery? Yep, I guess we could read The Case of Oddzilla. A huge monster was chomping and chomping through Crystal Cove. Citizens were on edge. The police were stumped. They knew they could call, though, on Scooby and the gang to help solve this mystery. But a huge monster. The police are talking to them, saying, a monster is on the loose. We can't catch it. Well, what's the monster doing, says Elma. It's eating things, cried Chief Hammer. There were 10 pins in the bowling lane at Big B's Bowling. Now there are 7. There were 6 matching hair dryers at the Clips and Snips beauty salon. Now there are 5. And there were 4 toy trucks in Little Billy's backpack. Now there's only 1. Oh my gosh. We were robbed, says Scooby. What? He says even and odd. There were 10 even bowling pins. Now there's 7. There were 6. Now there's 5. There were 4 trucks, and now there's 1. Fred thought for a moment. 10 bowling pins, 6 hair dryers, 4 trucks. All even numbers. 7, 5, and 1 are odd numbers, said Velma. Maybe Shaggy is the monster, said Daphne. There was an even number of donuts in your box. Now the number is odd. Shaggy's eating away. Like, check this out, said Shaggy as he held up the newspaper. Oddzilla strikes again. Aha, that must be the monster. There's a pattern, said Velma. The numbers are 10 and 6 are even, but the numbers 3 and 1 are odd. We've got to do something. Oh, I have an idea, says Fred. By the end of the day, the gang had created a trap to capture the monster. Fred explained to the chief. The numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 make up a set of even numbers. Oh, I'm with you so far, says the chief. A set contains an even number of objects if the objects can be matched. Look at the 8 forks. They can be matched. These forks and the 10 spoons. They all have a match. Yeah. Each fork has a partner and 4 pairs. And the 10 spoons, each spoon matches another 5 pairs, said Fred. The captain looked closely. Looks odd to me. One fork doesn't have a match. Uh-huh. Oh, that's because Scooby took it to eat the cake. Worry. Daphne put another fork down. Now it's even again. Shaggy and Scooby, stay away from our trap. There's a steel plate under the objects. With this button, I can electrify the plates, and it'll shock the monster. When the monster is stunned, we'll catch him. Hey, good plan. Let's get ready. Scooby, I will join you, but first, we need a break. Oh, you mean you're hungry. You want some pizza. Of course, they're always hungry. A few minutes later, Shaggy and Scooby were at the pizza shop. Pizza! Oddzilla let out a roar and lunged at them. Scooby and Shaggy raced away. Oddzilla was at the pizza shop. Oh, no. Better split up, buddy. Together we are 2. We make 1 pair. Oddzilla wants to make our even 2 an odd 1. There's Oddzilla. Right, said Scooby, veering away. Oddzilla stopped and roared when it saw the objects. Then it clumped forward. Its jaws opened and closed. When it stepped on the plate, Fred pushed the button. Electricity sizzled. Oddzilla swayed and then fell over with a loud clank. Suddenly, a man ran out from behind a bush. Oddzilla, he said, my beautiful creation. The chief stepped up and handcuffed the man. Oh, I recognize that guy. It's Dan Rowe. He's the creator of You Lost One, I Have One website. It's a company that sells single objects to people with an unmatched set. Hey, you're under arrest. Hey, I was making millions. I could have made more if your meddling kids hadn't destroyed my creation. But now that Oddzilla was gone, Scooby and Shaggy were thinking about better things, like pizza. The gang headed to the restaurant. Like Scoob, we never did get our pizza, said Shaggy. Pizza, said Scooby. I think we all could go for a quick snack, said Fred. Pizza pie, here we come. I'm starving. And there's nothing odd about that. So what words should we use in this? Even numbers, counting numbers that can be reached by counting by 2. Meddling is busying oneself in somebody else's business. Odd numbers are counting numbers that are not even. An odd number is one more than an even number. A pair is a set of 2. A set is a collection of well-defined objects. And veer is to change directions suddenly. So those were words that we used in today's story. Didn't we, Scoob? All right, so you got 2 Scooby-Doo stories today. And I hope you enjoyed them and that you are having a wonderful day. And see you soon. Bye-bye.